Beauty pageants have evolved over time from being just about fun and entertainment during wartime to being a social platform for women across nationalities to come together to celebrate beauty, purpose, and representation. However, the standard of beauty in beauty pageants has not quite evolved and still fails to form inclusivity of everyday women and still favors rigid Eurocentric beauty ideals. We sat down with former second princess of Miss South Africa 2015, Ntsiki Mkhize, to discuss the nuances of pageants in society and to answer the question: are beauty pageants inherently anti-black? We recently just crowned our Miss South Africa 2019, Zozibini Tunzi. But earlier in the pageant, when the top 16 was announced, mixed reactions came from social media about the pageant's contestants that questioned how diverse Miss South Africa is.
Beauty pageants today, and we see beautiful, intelligent, sometimes women that are role models, people that we expect to be leaders, people that we expect to reflect our beauty and our values and so forth, and that we would, as women, or want our daughters to aspire to be those particular women. That's sort of like the contextual understanding that I think for the most part that's what we have of beauty pageants right now. Right? Yes. We miss the fact that that's the evolution of beauty pageants. Yes. So when beauty pageants initially started, it was entertainment during the war. So it was like people are at war and
we need something fun for the ladies,
you know. Yeah. So it was something to lift up morale, I suppose, for lack of a better phrase. During that time, and back then it was literally about just how she looked, right? So does she look like someone who can inspire the troops? You know, does she have the spirit and the charisma of what we want to see, right? And so it's moved from traditionally just being a beauty thing to maybe I'm gonna get caught out now. I'm not sure how many years ago it was started, like maybe 60, 70 years ago, however many years ago. Then including beauty with a purpose, so saying, yes, she is a Miss World, yes, there's a Miss Universe, and yes, there's a Miss whatever your country is, but there's a bigger thing to that, you know. So, in part, in some countries, because of the opportunities women get, so for example, Venezuela, the government backs the girl who runs.
Yes, I actually saw that in my research.
Because of the level of poverty, it becomes a huge opportunity.
Yes, for a lot of girls,
right? So depending on the country that you're from, it's not, yes, the beauty is important, but it's the shucks unlock so much more.
And a lot of other economic and political
100%. And then I think that they came a turn where there was an understanding that someone who's beautiful, yes, people like to look at her, people would like to hear her speak, can lend her voice to something more important.
Yes.
And then enters the concept of beauty with a purpose.
So, in exploring the conversation about beauty pageants, I think we need to basically highlight the fact that they've always been an important factor in determining the overall standard of beauty. Historically, even to the present day, let me say, Eurocentric standards have always been placed on its pedestal. So that is straight hair, slim body, slim nose, fair skin. Even in African countries or countries that are predominantly black, the beauty standard required to enter the competition have always been centered around the conventional type of beauty, the model type of aesthetic, which is inherently a Western concept. Even when they do pick black women, it's always those that are in close proximity to whiteness. So that is lighter skin, exotic looking women. I think that a lot of this is based on who actually has a better chance at competing on an international scale. For many underdeveloped nations, or let me rather say third world countries, pageants are way more than just about portraying your beauty, but more about opportunities. The problem comes in because a lot of women from marginalized groups are not given access to those opportunities due to not meeting the expected requirements. The same people who already possess this pretty privilege are then also given an additional platform to further advance themselves socially and economically.
Why do you think they still pick girls who compete internationally and not necessarily girls who represent the beauty of the country. I don't know, because if you do say that like it was kind of linked to like it's bigger than the beauty.
Yeah. So I mean, the business of Miss South Africa is to send somebody to go compete in Miss World and Miss Universe, right?
Yeah.
And so you want to pick a contestant who can participate and hold weight at Miss World and Miss Universe. The challenge of it not being fully representative of all the beauty of South Africa is not just a South African problem. It's an African problem. It's an all over the world problem.
Yeah.
So it's not just a South African thing. I mean, a few years ago, Miss Jamaica, who did really well.
I remember with the afro.
You were like, oh my god!
That was so refreshing, right? That was so refreshing.
And so it just shows that across the world, this is still a point of conversation. It's still a point of conversation to have natural hair on a global scale in a beauty pageant. It's still a point of conversation to have a dark-skinned girl on the national scale in a beauty competition. And it's still a point of conversation to have what we call a plus-size model. And even the debate of plus size in terms of the modeling industry and plus size in reality is something different. Like a plus size model, if you went to a plus size life woman and said, hey, here's a plus size model, 9 out of 10 times she's gonna be like,
what do you mean? This is not plus size.
Now we don't see diversity in terms of like physical appearance. Now there's more inclusivity in terms of like sexuality. Because remember, there's now like a queer
contestant. I was about to say, so, but in my research, I was reading, and they were speaking about like there was a trans woman in the competition, and they didn't know. So they didn't know that she was trans until she ran. Not in this particular. I think it was in the Philippines, and they didn't know that she was a trans woman until she was crowned, and then she won and everything, and she was literally stripped off of her crown because she was a trans woman.
Yeah.
And so I asked myself, when it comes to stuff like, and so the basis of them stripping it away was the fact that she had done surgery. And so I was like, okay, but then there are countries, like if you look at Venezuela and how much of a big thing it is there, a lot of women actually do go through like surgeries or particular like kind of like changes that they make. And so why can we not now be inclusive of trans women who want to enter the competition? I don't know why it should be a separate entity, because trans women are women still. So
why should it be separate?
There seems to be a disjuncture in beauty pageants that always leads the audience to ask themselves if national beauty pageants are a representation of a country's national beauty and a reflection of the many women in it, or an attempt to compete and be in proximity with hegemonic beauty standards.
And for as long as the standard is dictated from a Miss World, Miss Universe perspective,
then the bottom it's going to be the same.
And it's not that it can't change, right? So if you have, so look at this, with America having all three of the title holders being black girls, right?
Yes.
If you have those kinds of things happening, that filters up, right?
Yeah.
So if the majority of the girls that win around the world are black, by the time we get to Miss World and Miss Universe, the submission of the range is that, right? And there is an opportunity for that push up approach to say, we're pushing these girls through. This is actually what represents us as a country. And if say, for example, if all the African countries that send girls to Miss World and Miss Universe, pick the darkest, most beautiful girl, and not most beautiful girl in the country and send her through, you're not going to end up with like 10, 20 girls at Miss World, at Miss Universe who are dark-skinned and beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And the world has to go, oh snap, dark-skinned beauties.
They're here.
Exist.
Yeah, we're here.
On this,
Dark-skinned women are here.
I think what's very important for our generation and just moving forward is that people don't get stuck on the fact that the only representation of our beauty is the girl that's chosen as Miss Africa. I entered a beauty pageant, and the first 2 times I entered, I had my afro. It was a lot smaller and still in the growing processes, but I had it. And the 3rd time that I entered, I had my afro, I had braids, and then when it came towards the final end of the pageant, I had a weave in, because simply that's what it took to get further in the competition, you know. So one of the big things that they've done this year is include 2 girls that have dreadlocks. There has
never
been a year
oh my
where
word.
a woman with
What a
dreadlocks has
time.
made it through
Yeah.
on the pageant, right? And not just that, but globally the statement then is that women with dreadlocks are beautiful.
Yes.
Because there is a conversation that exists around that. Are dreadlocks acceptable? Is this okay? Can you be a lady and have dreadlocks? And it's understanding that a pageant like Miss South Africa and this equivalent in any other country has the power to make those statements.
Yes.
That radically, so we can all be like, oh yeah, girls with dreads are pretty dull.
Yeah,
We didn't know anything.
yeah.
But when that statement gets made on a platform,
yeah.
it holds the weight to exhibit. It holds the weight to carry that wave much further than what we can sitting here agreeing together.
This is so true.
The fact that they've got the girl with the patch of blonde hair in the front, I think she's got vanilla like, I'm not sure. The fact that they do have, I mean, I don't think dark skin girls is a new thing. They've had dark skin girls in the pageants before. And we've got a girl with short hair, we've got a girl with an afro. So the image that you see of the top 16 this year is diverse in as so
In
far
what
as
diversity has
what
gone.
the pageant has been.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a time
I
when you would
understand.
look and there'd be a few black faces here, like 1 or 2. Is she colored? Is she Indian? I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
And then tons of blondes and brunettes, right? There was a time when the standard of diversification or diversity was how many blondes are in the pageant this year, right? And we've moved from how many blondes are there to 2 dreadlocks,
1, 2, 3, yeah.
short hair, and it's not maybe where the whole country wants us to be.
Yeah,
but we do have
but
to
we're getting
recognize
there.
that in
I
the
get you.
history of the pageant,
Definitely.
this is
a
change.
move.
This
This is
is
a move.
progress.
Yeah.
This is moving
This is a
forward.
move.
And I think if we're here, it just means that there's more
To come. Yeah.